everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks. Comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I'll talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen, folks, Tuesday, okay, today at 7 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be having a live radio show, okay? We'll be talking about the Jets, we'll be talking about the draft, we'll be talking about the offseason. I take live callers, okay? Call in, all right? Hopefully Blog Talk works. If it doesn't, then again, we'll still take live callers, and you guys will be notified what the number will be. But call in. I take live callers. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets NFL draft. Oh, yeah. We're going to be talking about the draft from rounds 4 through 7. Okay, and we're also gonna touch on the undrafted free agents that the New York Jets have brought in as well. Okay, we got quite a bit to discuss about what Joe Douglas was able to do. So let's get into it. Comment down below and give me your thoughts. Now, you look at this 4th round, man, and Joe Douglas continued to exhibit his genius. Right? We know that he made some trades. He traded down in the 1st and ransomed the quarterback to get, Minnesota to give him some goods. He moved up and got a guy, a little bit later on in the draft. He was wheeling and dealing and making moves, right? Well, you look at this 4th round, he did a lot of the same things, okay? He moved down and made a trade with the Packers immediately, right? The Packers ended up getting pick number 111, and the Jets moved down to pick 126, and they also gained a 6th round pick from the Packers as well, which was pick 190. So I'm like, okay, I'm watching this. I'm like, cool. You get yourself some capital, you move down. We've been wheeling and dealing, and I like what Joe Douglas is doing. I'm feeling this. Then he makes an even more masterful move, okay? He makes an even more great move, all right? He works out a deal with the Lions, okay? And he trades the 4th rounder. But let me tell you what he trades it for. He trades it for a 3rd rounder. The Lions, okay, got pick 126 in the 4th round, and the New York Jets got a 2025 3rd round pick from the Detroit Lions. Oh! That's something else, man. That is something else right there, okay? Now you have capital for the future, which can come in handy, okay, for 2025. Which you can utilize to continue to wheel and deal. And you got a 3rd round pick for a 4th round pick. That's just, Joe Douglas is I'm telling you, he's crazy. Like, that man is crazy. He knows how to work the draft and he works his board. I mean, the value you got from that was just absolutely insane, right? But the New York Jets still had a 4th round pick. As we know, we got him from Baltimore. And when it came time for the Jets to draft with that 4th round pick, they took Braylon Allen, running back from Wisconsin, okay? This didn't shock me, all right? There was a lot of talk amongst Jets fans about what the New York Jets can need, and running back often came up, right? And a lot of people thought, oh, well, we'll get a veteran back, we'll bring him in. No, Joe Douglas said, we're going to go young. We got Breece Hall, we got Izzy. Let's get another young back into the building and move forward that way. And I'll tell you what, man. When you look at Allen, oh man, he is a bruiser. He is a bruiser. 6'2", 235. This is a guy that's going to punish you in the running game. I mean, he squatted over 600 pounds. This is a strong dude that's going to handle business. And so when you look at him, he seems like a change of pace back. A guy in those short yardage situations, those 3rd and 2s, you know what I'm saying, something like that. You're going to hand him the ball, and he's just going to absolutely smoke people and get you those short yardage downs and continue to move the chains for you. So I like this move. I like bringing in Allen. I like what Joe Douglas was able to do here, getting Braylon Allen into the building. Now, next, 5th round, okay? The New York Jets make their selection. It's Jordan Travis, quarterback from Florida State. Now, this is a nice pick as well. As we know that Joe Douglas talked about, hey, bringing in a quarterback. They were talking about drafting a young quarterback. We know that we've moved on from Zach Wilson. But if you listen to Joe Douglas before the draft, he talked about wanting to be a quarterback factory like the Packers were, right? They had multiple guys and were able to sit them behind their starters and get them to be serviceable. And some of those quarterbacks went on to do great things with other teams as well. Well, when you look at Jordan's in a tough spot. He's coming off of a very bad ankle injury, right? But that broken ankle that he suffered had to be surgically repaired, right? But this is a guy that has ability, okay? His arm isn't the best, but he's a playmaker. He can move and shake and make things happen. So when you look at him in his position, once that ankle heals up, he's going to come back. He'll regain that playmaking ability, but he'll have time to sit behind, Tyrod Taylor, behind Aaron Rodgers, and soak himself into this offense as well. Immerse himself into everything that we're doing. And I'm telling you, when his time is called, which it could be in the future, he's going to be ready to go. And that playmaking ability, that ability to get outside the pocket, make things happen, is going to be insane, especially when, again, honing the ability of how to work within the pocket, learning from a great like Aaron Rodgers, being able to soak yourself and immerse yourself within the offense and understand where you need to go, your check downs, all of that stuff, being able to be groomed, okay, is going to be a huge, huge benefit for him. So I like this selection here. I like what he's bringing to the table. Again, they don't know exactly when he's going to be able to get onto the field because that ankle is still healing up from that surgery. But I like this selection as well and wasn't stunned by it whatsoever. Now, another pick we had in the 5th round, Joe Douglas selects Isaiah Davis from South Dakota State, another running back. Now, I'll tell you what, man, I was shocked by this. He went running back twice, okay? After Allen, he takes Davis. And I'm like, what is this? Why, right? Another running back, another guy that is a plotty runner, a bruiser, 6'1", 218. I'm like, man, what's going on here? This is a guy, though, that I think could compete for a fullback spot, right? But then I thought about it. Yo, Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old, right? This is not a guy that you want to have to put into a situation where he has to throw for 300, plus yards every game, right? I believe that the New York Jets are going to a spot where they're going to allow Aaron Rodgers to be an elite game manager, most of the season. Can he still throw for 300 yards again? Yeah, he's Aaron Rodgers. We all know he can still do that. But do you want to put that type of pressure on him? No. You want to have him be able to hand the ball off, allow that running game to be dominant, and then allow him to do his thing on short yardage situations, right? You want to put him in 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 3s consistently, and you want to continue to move the chain. So I think the New York Jets will be leaning on the running game a lot more heavily than they have in recent times because of the struggles that we've had. And so I think that that's their plan, and I think running the football effectively is their plan. So having 4 backs, especially when you look at Sulla's past, right? And he was with the Niners. They ran a bunch of backs within their system. And I think that, Nathaniel Hackett is going to try something like that in this upcoming year. So I like this selection as well, bringing in 2 backs. And again, we'll see because this is a guy that could compete for that fullback spot. Now, we took a guy in the 6th round as well, Quantez Stiggers from the CFL. This guy is very interesting. He has no college experience, right? Went to the CFL and just did his thing. He was with the Argonauts. This is a guy, man, 5'11", ran a 4.4 40. And he made an impact in the CFL when he was there, man. This man had 5 interceptions, and he actually got voted the most outstanding defensive rookie. Okay, so this is a guy that can put some things together. And we've seen guys from the CFL go to the NFL and really be able to make an impact, right? And he could be one of those guys, man, at corner for sure. They also did a recent interview with him, and he talked about how he wants to come in and he wants to just work with everybody. He talked about wanting to be Sauce's best friend and learn everything from him. So he's coming in humble, ready to go, and ready to work, and I like that, right? And he has, again, a myriad of guys that he's going to be able to learn from Sauce to DJ Reed, Michael Carter II. There's a bunch of guys here that I'm sure will have no problem taking them under their wing and showing them what time it is here with the Jets. So we're going to see what happens with him going forward, but I'm excited about him. Now, in the 7th round, the New York Jets took Jalen Key, safety from Bama, all right? An Alabama boy, all right? He's in the building. All right, this was a Mr. Relevant pick by the New York Jets. Now, you know, he's a guy that I think can be a solid special teamer here. He's a 6'1" safety. He's very physical, man. He gets after it. He's a tough guy, but he's kind of slow, okay? He's kind of slow, but he's very, very physical, gets after it, and is all about opposing his will upon opponents. And what I like about him is he's going to be able to utilize that toughness. He's going to be able to use that, you know, ability to stick his nose in there with the ball. He's not afraid to go after a guy and bring him down. All of that stuff leads to very solid special teams play. And I think that that's where he's going to make his immediate impact first, okay? So he's a guy I think he's going to put it together, and we'll see him do some things on special teams. Now, when you go into the undrafted free agents, we got a bunch of them. Some Shaheem Battle, Brady Latham. I could talk about all these guys, right? But I really want to highlight two guys. Otherwise, this video would be 40 minutes long, okay? Okay, let's not do that. I could talk about them all. Trey Jenkins from San Jose State. I could talk about all these guys, all right? But I want to highlight two guys that I think are very, very interesting from our undrafted free agent signings currently, okay? The first one I want to talk about is Leonard Taylor, okay? Defensive tackle for Miami. I was stunned that the Jets were able to bring him in. I was stunned that he went undrafted because this was a guy that had a mid-round grade on him, you know, this past draft. And honestly, before, you know, 2022, there was a lot of people talking about him possibly being a first-rounder in the draft. Now, he had a very productive 2022, a very productive, right? Did his thing. But 2023, things didn't work out as well. There was a lot of talk about Miami, though, not utilizing him correctly within their defense. A lot of talk about that, okay? But there was also a lot of talk about him kind of giving up on plays, not showing the tenacity and the fervor that a lot of people in the NFL thought he should show on plays, and he kind of shrugged and didn't really try very hard on certain things. So he had a really, really tough 2023. But when you listen to a lot of analysts, man, they talk about this guy having elite traits. I'm talking about traits that could really make him a very solid edge rusher in this league, especially in this Jets defense, the way that they utilize their defensive linemen. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see him brought into the building, especially again with the departure of John Franklin Myers. This is a guy that could possibly push to actually be on the Jets roster this upcoming year. I'm telling you. And we've seen undrafted free agents come here and do some things, okay? Listen, Bryce Huff was one of those guys, all right? Bryce Huff was one of those guys, and we saw the impact he was able to make here, right? Another undrafted free agent that I looked at, and I was like, wow, okay, I'm liking this, right? Tyler Harrell, wide receiver from Miami. Listen, this guy is a burner. You know your boy Joe. He liked that speed, okay? Your boy liked that speed, all right? And my wide receivers, get up and go, all right? That's what I like, okay? This is a guy that can move, all right? I'm talking about he cooks. He ran a 4.2 40 at his pro day, all right? Listen, this guy can move and shake. The production isn't there. He didn't get a lot of catches, you know, and stuff like that. But here's a guy that you can bring into the building. You can coach up. He's got that flat-out speed. If he can be utilized within this offense, let me tell you something. He brings something to the table that defenses are going to have to fear. You put him on the field, and he's a guy that can immediately take the top off your defense. And there's a lot of people trying to compare him to Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying that that's who he is. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people comparing him to Tyreek and saying that, man, he has some ability, and if he can hone and clean things up, he could be the Tyreek Hill of this draft. So it's very, very interesting. Listen, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. How do you folks feel about the New York Jets draft from 4 to 7? What are your thoughts about the undrafted free agents as well? Who's your favorite undrafted free agent? Again, I could have went on forever about them, but I'm not trying to make a 50-minute long video. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.